There I am. Hey, everybody. It's Kate Richburg. Happy, I have a hair in my face. Happy Valentine's Day. I thought I'd do this little impromptu stitch in that I am totally not ready for, but it looks like you all are ready for it. It looks like a bunch of you are watching, and I'm so sorry I'm so tardy. I went out for my morning walk, and then I chatted with my friend Christine, and then Chris and I discussed dinner plans. So then all of a sudden I realized I gotta be on the air. So here I am. I thought it'd be fun just to come in, um, and say hello to everyone. Oh my goodness, look at everyone's here. I love it. I love it. Um, I'm just looking at what everybody is chatting about. I love it how everyone's chatting about bead crochet, chatting about sewing. Um, it's great. So it's great to have you all here. So, you may have seen the mix today. Let me pop over and see how many more I have. Hang on, I can't see my flowers, and I put my flowers on. I made this flower thing for me because I like wearing flowers, especially now that my hair is longer. So there we go. When I turn, you can kind of see it, right? So yeah, you can see a little peek, little bit of peeky peek there. Um, yes, it's great. It's great to see everyone. Valentine hug to you. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Diane, over in the Bay Area. It's great to see you all. So let me see how many mixes we've got left. Miranda and I, at Janice's prompting, because Janice was like, "What are we doing for Valentine's Day?" And I'm like, "Oh, I forgot." I didn't really forget, but I'm like, we got to do something. So if you were watching yesterday on Free Tip Friday, you saw that I did a little giveaway of my black Swarovski crystal hearts, right? Which were really fun to do. So that was yesterday's giveaway, kind of a Free Tip Friday kind of exclusive there. Today, if you opened our newsletter, we only have 7 tubes left, right? Only 7. And it is what did we call it? Miranda came up with the names. This one is called Love Struck, and we charge you 1 cent for it. So if you only want to order this, pay the shipping, and get this for 1 cent, it's there. It's on the homepage. You have to click the little heart thing, the little heart logo there. So I've got 7 of these left. Tomorrow, I have another one for you. And this one is called, what did Miranda call it? I have to check. I can't remember. Hang on. Miranda said Dark Romance. Tomorrow's is called Dark Romance, and it's here. I'm not going to show you. You're going to have to wait for tomorrow. So those are our 2 little Valentines from us to you. There's no minimum order. There's, you just have to add it into your cart. When we're sold out, we're sold out. So we started with, I think, 50 or more maybe, but we have only, let me refresh. We only have 7 left. So, and that's what I'm going to be using today. If you miss it, don't worry, there'll be more coming down the pike. They were really fun to make, and I just went into kind of my bead stash, and Miranda and I made these mixes. So I'll do some more for some other holidays. It was just kind of fun. It's just fun to share our appreciation for you folks. There is a limit of 1 per order, but I hope you like them. So happy Valentine's, Palentine's, Malentine's, Galentine's, whatever, or just February 14th, whatever you celebrate, right? Every day's got to be a celebration. I'm going to take these totes. I have my totes kind of on here, and I don't know. I don't like how they look, my tote bag collection. Let me put them down right here. There we go. That looks a little, I don't know if that looks any better or not, but at least it looks more jewelry focused. There we go. Okay, so this month and into next month, oh, thank you. That's kind of what I was going for. I'm in my flamenco dancer era, I think. It was really fun to do. I'll show you how I made this, because if you, you know, now that I'm ramping up to my 60th birthday later this year, and it's year of the fire horse, which that's my sign. 60 years, it's the fire horse return. So I am going for it this year, right? I'm going to live life, have a lot of fun, work real hard, spread the joy and the love. That's what we're going to do, right? That's what we're doing for the year of the fire horse. So let me share my camera here. I didn't quite get my camera set up, so let me do that because I was chatting with my bestie, because, you know, I took my morning walk, did all of that, and then I had to check in with Christine, so it was kind of a busy morning. Let me add that camera here. There we go, extra camera. There we go. And you know, these Saturday stitch-ins are pretty, you know, they're pretty informal. Not that any of my broadcasts are very formal. Yes, Christine is doing great, actually. Her pops, Bruce, did pass away. We miss him very much. But at 91 years, he had a really amazing, fantastic life. So we celebrate that every day. Christine is doing well. Those of you who also remember us from our Bedissimo days in San Francisco, you know, when Christine and I had our bead store in the Mission, for Christine's 40th birthday, so that was 20 years ago, I got her a dog. I got her Nathan, the wiener dog. Nathan was a little dachshund, right? And for her 40th birthday, you know, and I figured she's my best friend. I can buy her a dog if I want. I can get her a dog. So I told her, I said, Christine, I've got you a dog. So we got her a dog, and through thick and thin, Nathan has been around. Well, Nathan also had to go over the Rainbow Bridge to the Happy Hunting Ground just a couple of weeks ago as well. So not only did Christine lose her pop, but she lost our Nathan. So we are celebrating both of those lives well lived. And for a dachshund, Nathan was almost 20. So if any of you remember our wonderful dog mascot over at Bedissimo, Nathan went on to the Great Wienermobile in the sky. He was such a great dog. But you have to celebrate it. You can't be sad because it was a great run. So we had to have our Saturday catch up and stuff. So that's what's going on with me. Drop in the comments. What's going on with you today? I want to hear it. I want to hear what's happening with you folks. So let me add my other camera here, and let me show you what I made this hair clip. It's kind of fun to do. It's right here. Let me zoom out and let me make it kind of bigger, because I thought, you know, it is Valentine's Day, St. Valentine's Day, right? So we might as well dress up and have fun. So I made this flower clip. And I got these flowers. These are from Amazon. I can put them on our Amazon storefront. It's kind of cool. They come in kind of a box, like a flat box. And so what I did was I also got some clips. These clips are pretty, they're pretty sturdy. I like them a lot. And then I just used some of that stiff felt that I like using, that I'm going to use today for seed beads. And then I just cut all the wires off with a pair of heavy-duty wire cutters, and I just hot glued them onto the piece of felt. Was bigger. Glued everything on, cut that felt down, and just glued this this guy up, this clip right up on here. So yeah, so it can just clip right in, really super easy. And it just goes. I'm just gonna put it right here. And now that my hair is growing out again, I don't know. I may grow it and I'll probably chop it back off because, hair is grown out to be cut, right? But for now, I think it's kind of fun. So it's kind of a fun thing. So I'll put them on the Amazon storefront. You can find the Amazon storefront right, on the homepage of Bead Shop where it says social media, then it goes to Amazon storefront. I'll add it after the broadcast. Let's see, what else? Who else is making stuff? Heather, I love this. Your mini. Yeah, Nathan was a mini. He was a mini. Yeah. So 22. That's a great run for sure. Benissimo, Diane, I know you remember it was a fun store. It really, it was a love letter to beads for sure. We had such a good time. Lorraine, I love it. You know what? It's Valentine's Day. Nothing matters. Get those M&Ms in, right? And I love this, Heather. You're making a version of contemporary poetry with dark pearls for my hubby. That's awesome. I made Chris a fun pearl bracelet that he's been wearing lately too. So, oh, that's awesome. I'm sure he'll love it. I love it, love it, love it. Yeah, it's kind of fun. So I still have, you get a ton of these flowers in this box. So I think I might make some smaller ones. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what I do. All right. Well, let me put this camera. Oh, a Kumi necklace. I'll have to take a look. And really appreciate, Michelle, all of those shares that you share in our group. Really, we really so appreciate those shares. And Deborah, I'm sorry it's been a long, difficult week, but you're here with us, right? So, good thoughts out to you, my dear friend. I also wanted to mention before we get into our Saturday stitch in, yesterday, if you saw Jen Cushman and I'll put this up. We had our little informative France broadcast. You can jump over. The broadcast is over. It's archived over on Bead Shop, our Bead Shop YouTube, on my Kate Richburg YouTube. If you want to learn more about it, the URL is right there. We just have 2 spots left for my summer sewing France trip. I won't go on about it here, but this will be the last year I'm doing France for a while. I'm not saying I'm not going back because I love it. It's like my second home. But for 2027, we've got something else cooking up. So if you've wanted to go to France with me, this is the last year I'm doing it. We're sewing. You can watch the broadcast. You can read the description and you can learn all about it there. What else? Oh, Kaylee K, sometimes, my friend, you just have to sleep in. I'll tell you, tomorrow's my day. I'm sleeping in tomorrow. I'm not, I'm going to try. Sometimes you just have to rest. No shame in your resting game. Just make sure, to just take that rest when you need it. And the broadcasts, the great things about the broadcasts is they're here, right? This is 10 years. We're 10 years into this broadcasting. Isn't that crazy? I can't believe it. I started on Bead Shop broadcasting in 2016. So we're going to have a big celebration in October. October will be a 10-year anniversary of doing these broadcasts. So we're going to cook up something. I've got until October to figure it out, right? But online and broadcasting, we've been doing this since like 1996 is when we bought the beadshop.com URL, right? And we hit the ground running. And I've been doing online tutorials really since it was a thing. So what is that? Like 30 years? Really? It's crazy, crazy, crazy to think about. But, you know, who cares, right? It's fun. It's fun to be able to go out and to connect with all of you folks all around the world. I love it. So, all right, let's take a look at what I'm going to make up today. I don't know. I've been thinking about it, so we'll see what happens. So, like I was saying earlier, um, I'm focusing on some more bead embroidery. In March, I have kind of a multi-broadcast, multi-show bead embroidery project for you. We're getting in a lot of stitch on rhinestones. We're getting in more sequins. I'm doing the March mix is going to be perfect for bead embroidery. It's going to be really, really fun. I've already kind of got things kind of going in the background for me. So you're going to start seeing that in March. But I thought it would be fun to ramp up. You know, I periodically like to come in and jump into bead embroidery. So let me see if I have my bead embroidery box here for you. I think it's, where is it? Nope, that's not it. Oh, here it is. It's right here, right in front of me. Let me open it up and let's see what we've got going on so far here from shows past. I'm going to put this up a little bit. You can see how messy. Next week, I've got to clean this table. Does anyone want to come over and hang out and help me clean my space? Because it is kind of a mess. I have from Bead Embroidery, this is where I'm keeping all the bead embroidery stuff right here, right? Let me pull out some things if there's anything I want to look at, right? We've got our stitch-in kits. We've got the that butterfly piece I was doing, which you're going to see again in March. Yeah, Michelle, get on a plane, fly into Fresno. I will pick you up. Okay, so that'll be awesome. Just do it. Get out of the cold, right, and into the warm. These are some other mixes, right, that I have in my bead embroidery box. I might want those. Oh, this was one that I was working on. We'll revisit that a little bit. But I have something really specific that I want to do today. So that looks good. Oh, and look, see, here's that. I got to finish that butterfly, right? I got to finish that. I've got the pattern right here. It's all under bead embroidery in the projects on Bead Shop. Let's see, what else do I have? That should be good. Oh, and I've got this little thing. There we go. All right, that looks good. But what I want to do today is we're gonna kind of play around with a little, just kind of a fun little pin that I'm thinking about. But let's take a look at these. I've got to pull this back out for embroidery month. I think I will. This is one that I was doing, I don't know, sometime last year, I think, with the gem duos. And I was using one of the little mixes. And this is meant to go over that cuff, that bead embroidery cuff that I was doing. This was the bangle. And I did some glue-in stones here, and I glued in some fabric here. So this needs some more embellishing right here, but I think that's coming along pretty well. Yeah, the butterfly project, I know I have that online. There she is. There's not much left. This was, I think it's peyote. Let me see if I can find the link. Hang on for you. I don't have anybody linking for me today. Let's see. I think it's under projects. It might be under Kate's seed bead patterns. Yeah, it's right there. It's butterfly. Both of these have the butterfly brick stitch. I'll put it there. Let me put it in the chat so you guys can get it, right? It's right here. Both of those are living right there. And so I just did these seed bead patterns on my seed bead program or whatever. It's so close to being done, right? I just have like 2, 4, 6, like 7 rows left to do, but isn't that pretty? I do need to finish it because I want to use this for my bead embroidery for next month. It's super close, and no shame in your no finishing game, right? I mean, just keep it in a box so you have everything together, so it's easy to pull back out when you're ready to do it, right? It's okay. Right? I'm not going to beat myself up about it, right? I've got so many things going on, as I know we all do. So don't worry. Don't worry about it, right? Just get it done when you can get it done. I am going to get another one of these leaves out though here because I might use those today. Okay, so let me put this back in my bead embroidery box right there. And I'm not going to use any of these sequins, but I also wanted to point out these fun little pieces. If stitching isn't your thing, this was a few stitch-ins ago. You can find all the Saturday stitch-ins on a playlist on our YouTube channel. This is one that I just glued right into right onto this piece using E6000. Let me zoom in. And Deborah, I have not forgotten this one. So you may remember a few, I've got those tucked away. A few, probably about 6 months ago. I don't know. Time is crazy. It's hard to remember even what day it is, right? Some of you I sent out to some of you to do a pattern for Dia de los Muertos, and I have those with me. So I want to do like a special mix and some other stuff with it. So you'll see that one later this year. I have not forgotten about it. I've just kind of put it in my to-do pile. So none of that work will be in vain for sure. It's really a fun one. And you folks helped me so much with it. So that was really great. But let's take a look. This was the mix that we sent out, or that we had this morning in the newsletter. Let me zoom back a little bit. And I thought it would be fun to do with these little, these round pin backs that we have. And I'll be honest, I'm still looking for my abstract brooch. I've got to finish it because I want to, at least it's on the website, but where it is in all of this, that's why I've got to do a big cleaning, right? I've got the list, I've got all of this, but I can't find that flippin' brooch, but I will. I'll find it. I'll find it. But I thought today would be fun to do just a quick little like heart charm pin kind of thing. Oh, I love it, Deborah, that you made 2. I think you sent me those photos. I've got them all in a folder, so I promise you we will not let that go by the wayside. It was a fun piece to do. So I'm going to start really right at the beginning, and I'm going to make a little template that I'm going to embellish. Okay, so let me get, I don't know, sometimes it's easier for me. I just got a manila folder. I'm going to make a little template here. And then I'll trace it out. So here's my manila folder. I'm going to cut a piece. so it's not so big to work with. And this is the way I make a lot of my templates. I just use my manila folder. I'm going to put it in this drawer so I have it for next time. And I could draw a little heart on there, but I think I'm just going to fold it in half and cut a kind of whimsical heart pattern out of it, right? You folks can do this. It doesn't have to be this manila folder. It could be some heavier cardstock. It could just be a regular piece of paper, whatever. And I want to see if this fits on the back, and it does. And this is kind of a nice size, I think. So what I'm going to do next, I'm also going to save this outline because it looks okay. It looks good. Folding it in half, make sure that your heart is symmetrical, though it doesn't need to be symmetrical, right? So I'm going to get my felt. This is my kind of that heavy duty felt. It's stiffened. So we have this on our Amazon storefront. I use this a lot for backing for bead embroidery, right? And Nancy, we have these pin backs right here on Bead Shop. Let me, they're in, just in, I think is where they are. Let me look. Yeah, it's the circle pin back. I'll put it in the chat right here. I really love it. I'm going to have some more colors. They're not in yet, but this is, I think it's a 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch round. And I really love it. And I love the quality of the hook in back is also really good. I'll have more of these when we do more of our bead embroidery. But they're in right now. Okay. So here is my heart. And let me see, does this white pen, that doesn't really, I think I tried that before and it didn't really draw on there real well. Let me get one of these kind of sparkly gel pens that Miranda likes to buy me. Let me see if that draws on here. That also does not draw on here. Let's see. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep trying pens. Let me see. Maybe this green one will. Let me see. I have, nope, no luck. I have some like chalk markers and stuff like that, but I thought for sure one of the pens that I have on here would work. Hang on. I've got so many. Are you a pen hoarder like me? I love, maybe if I wasn't using black, but this kind of shows up. Let me see. Let me see if I can outline this. I'm going to cover this, so let me see. But you could also use like anything that'll show up on this black. Doesn't have to be black, but that's what I had here. So, oh yeah, look, you can kind of see that. Can you see that outline? It's kind of faint, but it's not bad. I'm going to just kind of draw it in here. So I've got a good outline, right? Because I want to embroider on this before, yeah, a white pencil would work well too. I want to embroider on this and embellish on this before I cut it out. So there we go. There's my outline. And you can kind of see that, right? Not too bad, right? Okay, so here's and this size, let me tell you, it's a little over, it's like 2.5 inches wide by about 2.5 inches long. That's what I did here. Okay. So I'll put that aside. And I grabbed one of our table cut beads, right? Table cut strands. This one's called Dancing Queen. This is what happens when I do these on a Saturday. I can't holler out to Miranda to find things for me. So let me grab my needles and see. I think I want sharps. Maybe. I don't know. Those are size 10 sharps. I could also use just regular beading needles. Do I want them to be a little bit longer? Maybe. There's the color eye. I'll use these color eye ones too. Maybe I'll have both of those out. Thread wise, we can use anything. Let me see what's sitting here, if I have something sitting here. I want kind of a neutral color thread. What do I have out? Probably have a spool of KO in this chaos somewhere, right? Let me see as I rustle around to find it. But KO is what I want. Or you could use Fireline too. Let's see what I find first. If I find KO first, I'll use KO. If I find Fireline first, I'll use Fireline. Thank goodness you cannot see just right outside of what's happening on camera. It is, things are kind of messy here on my desk, but that's okay, right? We can make messes and we can clean them up. Oh, look, here we go. Fireline 1. Fireline 1. It's here. Great. Okay. I'm going to get rid of these blue ones because I didn't want the blue ones, I don't think. I think I'm going to stick with this red. So here is this Dancing Queen strand. So I'm going to cut it up. And we could glue these on, but I think I'm going to stitch. I may get tired and start to glue, but I don't know. We'll see. Here is the mix that was your giveaway mix this morning, the Love Struck. Let's see. When we sell, we still have 7. Nope, we only have 5. We only have 5 left of these guys. This is your gift today. So go over and grab it. Tomorrow will be Dark Romance will be up. So we have a limited amount. So don't forget to check your newsletters tomorrow. So let me dump these out. You get a nice 12-gram tube. Let me see. Here's a few. There's a few metal seed beads. I'll throw those into the mix because they've been sitting here. So what do I have here? I've got some Super Dews. I've got some Megatamas. The other thing that I have in here that you folks are going to like is when I was in France last time, I found some vintage seed beads and I poured them into this mix. Some are these little stripes. I didn't really have enough to like sell individually, so I threw them in the mix, right? Look at how cute those little stripes are. And then there are some little cuts, here they are, that are a silk finish. You kind of have to dive for them because I didn't have that many, but there are some in each mix. Look at these. Look at these right here. Can you see those? That's what's in there. Tomorrow's mix, I've been hoarding some vintage jet seed beads, also French. I threw them in the mix for tomorrow. They're really gorge. But this is your little mix. Now we should have enough to embroider something on here. Oh, I'm so sorry that you had a fall. Oh, I spend my whole life trying not to fall, right? But it's okay. You know what? Your house, there's always something that'll be a mess, right? So just rest up, and when you're feeling better, invite someone over and that'll help make you clean your house. That's what Chris and I do when our house gets a little, what we like to call under the weather and disarray. We have a dinner party, and that makes us clean, right? I'm just gonna cut some fire line. This is 4 pound, just what I had here, right? Lori, thank you. This bead mat, this bead circle mat we carry it on Bead Shop. It's one of our bead boards. This is the round version. We also carry it in a square, right? So, but anything, make one, use what you have, use like a tray and a dish towel or something. That'll also work. But this is a nice mat for sure, Yeah, that's what Chris and I have decided. We're having, we're doing a little dinner party just for ourselves tonight. It's our little Valentine's dinner party. Well, we're going to make a steakhouse dinner, and we're going to play some cards and listen to, as Chris likes to say, some tinkly music, which we like. And so we're going to do a little house cleaning beforehand, but nothing like guests, right? To get you working. And don't forget, my friends, we do have our Valentine, let me see, do I have it up here? Our Valentine, here it is. It's our code, our Valentine code today, Valentine 20. It's going on today and tomorrow. So if you want to buy yourself a Valentine gift or like that bead mat or whatever, use that code. When we run out of our Valentine giveaways today, I'm sorry, we had a limited amount, but we'll have another giveaway tomorrow. Okay. So click on the hearts on the home page and it'll take you, it looks like this, and it'll take you to our free giveaway. But there'll be another one tomorrow if we, oh, and are we out of the round ones? We will, Marianne. I hope they still have them. Put yourself on the notification list, because I know they were discontinuing some things, but if the round one is available, we'll definitely get it back in. I'm going to make myself a note to, oh, the banner has February 20. Does it really? Hang on. Oh, you know what? You know why? It's because that was just the Friday one. I'm going to go ahead and make February 20 live. So if you use it or people watch it, hang on, that was just for Friday. It's actually Valentine 20. But let me go in and reactivate February 20 because here we go. February. Let me see what it says. Sorry about that. Let me see what the banner says. Hang on. This is what happens when I do these. I need you guys to help me figure it out. No, it does say Valentine 20. Okay. Banner says Valentine 20. And on the home page, does it say, let me just double check the home page. Hang on. It could be me. That's what happens when, you're a small team. And don't anybody want to be my copywriter? I'm telling you. Oh, yeah, it does say February 20. Let me fix that. Valentine 20. Valentine. There we go. It's updated. There it is. Okay. Thank you for checking that. What would I do without you folks? Right? Okay. Thank you, Clarissa. Appreciate. There you go. Right. So yes. Okay, just making sure. Yeah, I think it would be fun. I think making bead boards and making the surfaces and stuff like that, do it. you know, get out that glue gun, right? Okay, so I think I fixed all of that. Thank you for checking on that. I'll tell you. Oh, and I was gonna write myself a note about the round beadboard. Hang on, let me do that real quick. I'm gonna do that as an email that I will send to Janice on Monday. I'm not gonna bother her this weekend. Let me do this. I'm gonna bring it to Janice. Round bead boards. Okay. Made myself that note. She'll get it on Monday. I don't want to bother her today. I told her, I said, don't work too much this weekend, but it's hard to not, right? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's lay some things out here. I think I'm going to use this flower like right in the very center. And I think since this is kind of symmetrical, these look kind of good like that, right? That looks good. And then we'll fill in. Maybe I'll put that drop or something on the bottom. But let me start with this. I'm going to start by coming in and I'm going to just tie a little overhand knot. I'm going to go once, twice, 3 times. I'm going to tighten it down. And I'm going to find kind of where I want to start that flower. I'm going to start on the front like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little stay stitch here. Okay. Like this. Thanks, Lori. I like this nail polish too. I've been really trying the nail polish, taking care of my nails, because when I don't, and I go on the broadcast, you can see sometimes on some broadcasts my hands just look dreadful, but that's all right. You know, what are you going to do? But I really liked this polish. So I'm trying to do a little bit of, you know, quote unquote self-care. It's the one thing I like to do. Well, that and skincare. I'm a big skincare junkie, but you know, little collagen mask never hurt anyone. So I'm going to come in and here, I'm going to just stitch it in. Good question about the mats and trays. Yeah, I like bead mats and trays. This does have a little bit of a nap to it, Deborah. You know, you can find pretty inexpensively those Velex, I think is what they're called, blankets, which are kind of like velour, but they're like a polyester velour. I also like using just felt squares in trays. That's what I do for the bead retreats. I get those, you know, cafeteria trays and get some nice felt to go in them. They look nice, right? So they work really, really well. So whatever works, you can find some really fairly inexpensive cafeteria trays. Though Emily, what she does, Emily Miller, Emily One, she has found some really great like vintage trays. She's gotten me a couple of little vintage, like just little flat dishes and stuff that I put a little, um, just a nice little, what do I want to say? Like piece of felt or whatever, piece of like scrap of leather or whatever. And so they're kind of fun. They're kind of pretty to work into, right? So just make your work area pretty, you know, however you like it. I'm also going to open up, these are some metallic bronze, that 457L that I like using. They happen to be here, so that's what I'm going to use. So I am just going to put in, let me see, I'm going to put in 3, 4. Let's see what 4 beads look like. And Lori, I am just creating just a little bead embroidered piece. We're going to put it on the back of this pin back, but just something kind of fun to explore some stitches. Nothing too crazy, right? because we don't want it to be a super long-term project. But I put 4 of the 11/aughts. Let me get something else. Let me get one of these 8/aughts that are in here. I'll put on an 8/aught. So I'm gonna go first, we'll do with these 4 11s, and then I'll go needle down like that, stitch it through, right? Just a running stitch. Then I'm gonna come back up maybe 2 stitches. Let me get a little, um, let me see. Let me get a little closer in here. Yeah, I mean, right? Have a little, you probably have an old Velux blanket, right? That's what I had one from back in the day. I like just cutting them up and reusing them. There we go. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. Can you see that okay? There we go. Yeah, look around. This year also, I am in I'm trying not to buy any new clothes, which is hard for me. I'm trying to shop in my closet, and I'm really trying to do a lot of repurposing, right? Because we don't need as much stuff as we think we do, right? So, I mean, it's great to buy new stuff, but it also feels kind of good to go shop in your stash, right? A little counterintuitive, right? Because I own an online bead supply, but there are always things that you can add to your stuff without going too crazy, right? Let's just take the temperature down a little bit, right? Be joyous in the things that we have, right? Like this dress that I'm wearing, this Valentine's dress that I'm wearing today, this dress is probably 15 years old, right? And I've shed a few pounds, so it actually fits me again, which is kind of nice, right? So, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go shopping in all of those clothes that I kind of had archived. Um, so yeah, so it's kind of fun to have those. Let me go back to through those because it wasn't quite sitting as how I wanted it to be. So there we go. Now needle down. Bead embroidery, and this is I've always loved bead embroidery and bead embellishing. And contrary to popular belief, you don't have to know a lot about sewing to do bead embroidery. See, what I'm doing here really is kind of just an up and down stitch. And see, they're not even sitting perfectly. That's what I'm trying to say here, right? I'm just coming up, poking that needle up. Now I'm going to go through the last 2 in that line before, and now I'm gonna put on 4 more right there, right? I love it, that you're repurposing old jeans into purses and bags. I love using old denim. I have some old denim right now that I'm kind of playing around with. I think that's great. So see here, as I'm putting these on, let me take this comment down so you can see it. It looks like 3 beads is what works in between here, right? 1, 2, 3, then an 8/aught, then 1, 2, 3 11s. So I'm only going to put on 2 of these 11s. I'm going to go to right here, just eyeball the middle, right? We're not embroidering for Dior, okay? We're not, even though I wish we were, but we're just doing this for us. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to go back through those 2 because they kind of anchor it. Now I'm going to get that 8/aught again that's in here. And if you missed out on the mix, just make your own little mix today, right? just see what's I know on your bead table, I know you're like me and you have a bunch of like random stuff on that bead table, right? So just get it in there and put it in your mix. Here's 3 of these, and I'll go down to where that flower point is. And you don't even need to grab the table cuts that I'm using. I mean, you could. This is the dancer one. Yeah, 3 looks better. And then I'm just going to go back through now 1 of these. Maybe I'll go, my needle came up nearer the 2, so that's what it wants. There we go. Tighten it up. Get that 8/0. We're about halfway there. Put that down. Yeah, I love this table cut bead. And bead embroidery is a really great technique for those beads that are just singles, right? I'll go back through that single one. Chris is back from foraging. How did it go?
Oh, good.
Good. All right. Good. I always say foraging when he goes to like Trader Joe's or whatever, right? And let me go. Oh, whoops. You know what? That was supposed to be, that one wasn't supposed to be there. I'm going to pull it out. Oh, what? Who's the best?
I'll be done.
What? Look what I just got. Look at those sweet white strawberries. Oh, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day, sweetheart.
Happy Valentine's Day, sweetheart.
Thank you. Oh,
You're welcome.
I love it. I'm going to have one of these strawberries right now.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, you're super sweet. I'm going to have one of these. All right. I'll be in a bit.
Okay.
Look at that. Yum. No.
How was it?
I'm going to tell you right now. Let me see. How is that? Oh,
Oh, marvelous.
marvelous. Perfect. He is such a winner. You know, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I had to kiss a few frogs before I found that one, but it was worth the wait. I'll tell you what. That was delicious. Oh my gosh, these strawberries are great. Go treat yourself today. If you don't have someone to treat you, treat yourself or go treat someone else, right? And you know what I'm going to do? Well, maybe I will take that out. I don't know. We've got to put the, whenever we have flowers, because sometimes I get Chris flowers and he gets flowers for me. His favorite are hyacinths. He loves a hyacinth. And so, yeah, this is that white strawberry, right? This is one of those that I think they're selling them right now at Trader Joe's. So yum. Yeah. So good. So, but yeah, dipping those in white chocolate would be good. Maybe we should dip those in some chocolate. They're so good. I hate unneedling, unthreading my needle because then I've got to try and redo it. Rethread it. I'm sorry, I got to take it off screen so it's a little more in my, there we go. Needle that thread. It's a little more in my vision. Okay, I got to tackle this. So what I am beading on, great question. This is, so Lori, if you look on our Amazon store, I have some heavy duty felt on one of my lists there. And I use this heavy duty felt a lot for backing my, and I'm just going to go a little bit faster. I'm going to not go back through. I kind of want to get through this part. But this kind of stiffened felt, can you see that? It's really good. It's really great for backing. You can buy It's called Stiff Stuff, I think. You can buy that too for bead embroidery, which also works great. Look around. You might have something that's kind of heavy duty, that's just nice. You can also use ultra suede. It's a little more flexible, which is nice, right? But this we do have in the Amazon store. Not very expensive. I also do bead embroidery, I mean, machine embroidery on it when I do my pins and stuff like that. So that's kind of fun. But yeah, it just has a nice hand to it. Yeah, these are a little wonkier because I'm not going through, but it doesn't make any difference. We'll go this 3 because I actually want to get around this flower before, before it's like an hour. Right. There we go. And here we go. Yeah, I've been kind of on this health journey. Turning 60 this year, you kind of think about, well, what are my next 20 years going to look like, right? And what do I want them to look like? And as you know, I work a lot, right? We work hard and we work a lot. But I've just started over the past couple of years really doing a lot of walking, right? Our street, I'm lucky enough that our neighborhood street is very walkable and it's a mile down from when I leave my house to kind of the end of our long street. And back home is a mile total. Well, about a mile and a quarter, actually. So I try and do that at least once a day, sometimes a couple of times a day. And it's really helped a lot. Um, and I am someone who I am a foodie. I love to eat. I love to drink. I mean, let's not make it sound like too crazy, but we like food, we like wine, we like having people over. Food is definitely our love language. But from my year of health journey, I've shed some pounds and I've gone off um, blood pressure medication. I don't need that anymore. My blood sugar is where it should be, all of those things. So start with one small change if you can. That's what I did. I figured if I can put one step in front of the other, it's good, right? So if you're feeling like, just do it. Just get out there and walk. That's really what I'm doing, and it's really helpful for me and for mental health. Stuff is hard right now. So I instead of trying to obsess about things, I go on my walk, and that's what I do. So, and it's helped, and it's we're just doing the best that we can. But I told myself, I'll be damned if I'm going to go into my 60th year having to take blood pressure medication. And so, like, my ankles are back to looking like they did when I was in high school and had pretty feet. And, all of those things. It's just better. And when I went and saw my doctor and she was all, we need to celebrate these wins. So it's good. So even little tiny changes, and kids, if I can do it, my friends, anybody can do it, right? Because again, I don't know what I put that bead on the back. If I can do it, anyone can, because I love food. I love to eat, right? And it's hard. Mobility, you gotta hang on to that mobility. Um, and it's hard. Oh, I get it, Kaylee K. It's just it is hard. It's hard to, but I tell myself, if I can walk a mile today, right, I'll be able to walk that mile tomorrow, right? That's what I want. And then my mom and I were going to start some water exercising, which is going to be really fun. It's going to be really great for her mobility, and for mine. There's some balance classes and stuff we're taking, so it's going to be good. So I urge you, just those little changes, you can do it. If I can do it, anybody can. I'll tell you, because um, every day. And then if you don't do it every day, don't beat yourself up. Do it again the next day. So there's my little, it's a little wonky, right? But it's fine. In this mix, we also have some, I'm going to have another bite of this strawberry because delish. Right here, I put some bugles in here, right? So let me put some bugles in. Let's see what this bugle looks like right here, right? Yeah, there we go. I'm going to do that. Yeah, Leslie, for sure. I think, if you can keep your mobility, because I want to be able to, travel some more and do some like adventuresome things, right? So I figure, and I've taken a couple of, like this year I had one fall, right? I just slipped on something and fell. Every year I feel like I take one fall, right? And not catastrophic falls or whatever, but I find myself, I'm all, how did I get on the floor? How did that happen? So, but the more mobile you are, I think, and the more elastic you are, the less that fall is going to hurt you. So, yeah, it's scary. It's scary to think about, right? Right. Yeah, having my blood pressure be normal, because that kind of freaked me out when my blood pressure was high and I was taking blood pressure medicine. It didn't make me feel good, right? It made me feel unsteady and stuff. It wasn't great. Oh, I love it that you love your aquafit classes. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, right? Um, yeah, blood pressure is really, it's a thing. And that blood pressure medicine, really, I didn't realize how terrible I felt while I was on it. But no shame in your blood pressure medicine game. If you need it, right? Some people, it's just, it's hereditary. My gran had it. Right? But moving around and stuff really helped me. But that's what medicines are there for. They're there to help us when we need them. So no shame in it, right? Look at how cute these little bugles are looking, right? I love it. I didn't mean for this to kind of veer off into like health talk with Kate Richburg because, I'm not one to talk, but I just think any little encouragement we can give each other is good, right? Every day we wake up on this side of the grass is a win, right? Yeah. And yeah, if you just, people have different things. We have, a colon cancer history in my family. So that's why we got to kind of keep up on that. So, everybody has something that's been passed down from their ancestors, good and bad, right? So we just deal with the cards we've been dealt. So that's what I'm trying to do. Play that hand, play that hand. All right, look at how great those little kind of wonky and endearing bugle beads look. So let's stitch this on. And let's go about to right there. Okay. Oh, Lori, the comments, I'm going out on everybody's, I'm going out on the Facebook page, both, um, Bead Shop and Kate Richburg, and then we're going out on YouTube, both the Kate Richburg the, um, the Kate Richburg and the Bead Shop YouTube. I know that most of the commenting goes over on the Bead Shop YouTube. So if you wanna join in on, like, the super chat, that's where everyone's hanging out. Look at how cute that is. I think this looks great. So let's add some more beads. Let's fill in. I'm gonna come in, and I kind of like this circle thing. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna get this red 8/0. I feel like it fits there pretty nicely, right? Yeah, that looks good, right? Um, let me zoom. Let me go a little further out there, right? I agree, Leslie. Doing shows like in-person shows when I was teaching metalsmithing, right? I was hauling 500 pounds. And I know you guys with Beadsmith doing all that, right? Hauling so much stuff to the shows, right? It was it was an amazing endurance test. Right? Wasn't it? I miss those shows. I miss those days. It was definitely, a lot of fun and a workout in so many ways, physically, mentally, but it also had great rewards, right? We got to see each other. It was like our time to hang out by the water cooler and chat. Those were good days, but these are still good days. Times have just changed. We're just kind of working it out, right? This one is a little wonky, so I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna go back through that bugle right there. I know you guys did so many shows. I traveled and taught in my heyday. It was about once a month, right? Getting that metalsmithing uh, on the road, obsessively tracking my equipment as it traveled across the country, right? But definitely fun. Definitely fun times. Yeah, I like how these red kind of look. So I think what I want to do here is I kind of want to fill in so this circle is kind of filled in. This is shifting a little bit, so I want to make sure that that this is going to stay where I want it. I could have glued it down and then stitched through it, and I still can get a little bit of glue under there if I want, but let me just keep going with this stitching. And you don't have to be super precious about this, right? Just get the beads on there, right? Right? I know, Heather, you have been through it, right? For sure. You'll get there. I don't know. I'm thinking about looking into like some chair exercising even, right? Because I do still sit part of the day, right? Just even moving it just a little bit, but you'll get there. Stand where you are right now, you know? That's what I say. Our buddy Candy Cooper, Candy has really been a great model for standing where you are, you know? Standing where you are and, you know, being being present in the moment where you're given what you're given. That's what we've got to do. It's interesting to think about even how things have so radically changed just in general, not even talking anything that's going on in the world, right? But just things have changed. Technology has changed. Access to things, just knowledge and like just things are changing, right? It's a shift. So we just have to do our best. Um, you know, and feel as good, do as good as we can, do as good as we can by ourselves and do as good as we can by others too, you know? I don't know. I'm glad you guys are out there, or else I would be here today just stitching away, talking to myself in my garage, which is kind of what I'm doing, but at least you folks are out there with me, right? Right? Let's see. Let's see. Some of these comments are great. Wendy, I love this. Count me as one of those who's grateful for online groups because I'm in the middle of the nowhere land and bead shows may as well be in another solar system for accessibility right now. It's really true. That's one of the beauties, I think, one of the good things that came out of the pandemic, or at least what we learned, some of the things that we learned during the pandemic was that we really could be accessible remotely, right? That remote access, wherever we are, we could create community, which was kind of an amazing thing. Look at those red beads on there. Doesn't that look amazing? Oh, good, Lori, you found us. You found us. Hurrah. I love it. So, ooh, Tai Chi walking. I love the sound of that, right? I love it. In San Francisco, you know, there would be all of the little ladies. You'd see a lot of Asian grandmas doing their Tai Chi in the park in the morning. And it was always super inspirational for me. I'm like, oh, good job, ladies. Some gents too, but it always seemed like I wanted to go hang out with those grandmas and get some wisdom and movement from them, right? Love it. All right, we're almost all the way around. We're getting there. Let me put these two over here. Now, every mix, it's not that every mix is going to be different, but every mix is going to have some, you know, a different amount of beads in. Hopefully, there will be enough of these shiny red 8/0 to go all the way around. If it's not, I'll just substitute another one, but I think there's going to be enough. I just need 2, 4, 6. I need 8 more. I might not make it, but it doesn't really matter. I'll just use different ones. So here's this. I mean, I could open up another mix, but that's not fair. I need to send that mix out to you. So let me see. Needle up right there. And there it goes. I'm trying to keep one eye on the comments too. Let's see. Here's one. I need 8. So let me see what I've got. 1, 2. Oh, I think I'm going to make it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on. Yes. 8. There we go. 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm going to have just enough for this. Okay. So let's put this on. I hope you folks are getting stuff done this morning while I'm getting this stitched in with this stitch in. What time is it? How am I doing? It's noon. Well, I'll go for maybe about a half hour more. Let's see how much of this I can get going. And then I've got to work on my class samples for my France coat. That's the rest of what's going on today. And then tomorrow is a little bit of a day of rest, a little bit of reading, a little bit of sleeping in. We'll see how that goes. And one more here. And I'm just kind of placing these the best that I can, right? I'm not worrying about it too much. I got caught on there. Hang on, I gotta grab something. Let me zoom in here so you can see it. Okay. Let me scoot in. There we go. There's my friend Barbara. Barbara! I love it. Barbara, Barbara she's not my neighbor, but we live fairly close to each other. And I'm going to start the water aerobics with my mom, so you should join us. You should definitely join us if you haven't gone there already. I'm super excited about it. I'll report at our Fibro Guild meeting to let you know. Let me see. Michelle, tell me, brown magnetic lined clasp. Do you have a picture? Will you send me the picture? Some of the clasps that have been old favorites are just not available, which is kind of a bummer. So yeah. So Barbara, I'll let you know how it goes. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this flower's shifting a little bit, so I might try and shove a little bit of glue under there. Let me get these beads, this round of beads down, and then we'll address this shifting issue. Just two more on there. This one. 2 more sets, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. There we go. Okay, good. Yeah, send me a pic. That's good. And this. Yeah, you can always reach out anytime, info@beadshop.com. I was caught up on my emails and now I'm woefully behind again. So I'm sorry. I will tackle more emails next week. Miranda's good, takes care of all the order issues and stuff, but I know a few of you are waiting for responses from me. So I apologize. There just aren't enough hours in the day, but you're always in my thoughts, even if you are waiting for a response from me. That's not really a very good excuse, though, is it? Where is that one more? That one more red is right there. There we go. All right, so that's looking good. That's the last one I need to put in. Let me do this. Let me get this here. Sorry, I was out of frame a little bit. Let me zoom back out. Sorry, if I get too close, I don't stay in camera. All right, so let's see. This is looking a little funny. So I'm going to restitch. I'm going to go back through there, stitch that one down, and I'm going to go through this one I don't like the placement of that. So I'll go through that. I'll kind of pull it back a little bit, tighten it up, and then I'll come down and lock that one in. All right, let's address this moving flower thing right now. Okay, so see how it's kind of, how it's kind of sitting there like that I don't love. If I smush it down, smush being the operative word here, it looks like it stays where I want it to. So that tells me that I can get some E6000 and push some E6000 underneath there. Now I know I have it here. I just have to find it. So bear with me while I get it. And Lori's asking, do I need to go through the beads more than once? So let me zoom in on it. You know, if I wasn't doing this on a live broadcast, right, I probably, like, see how that one's a little wonky there. There's a couple that are a little bit wonky. When I am doing my, let me show you on here. When I'm doing the stitch, right, if this is my fabric right here, I would come up, here are my 3 beads, and I'd go needle down like that. Then I'd come back up through 1, put my 3 back on, needle down, come up, go through 1. So it kind of anchors, right? If you're doing something a little bit longer, like let's say you've got 4 beads right here, I would come up, needle down, and then maybe come up and go back through those 2. Okay, does that make sense? So it will kind of make things sit a little more even, but I'm embracing what I have here, and it actually doesn't look too bad, right? It's not, again, like I am embroidering for Dior, but that's not what the goal here is today, right? My goal is to find this flippin' E6000. So hang on a second. This table is a nightmare. I had E6000 here, like it was here yesterday, right? So I know it's here. I just have to put my hands on it. I know it's in this pile. If you hear something topple over, it means, yeah, see, right there. There's a little bit of a bead taster. Let me see. I might have to go get a fresh one if I don't see one over there. Let me lift and look one more place. No. Okay. I'm going to take my strawberry, eat my strawberry, and you take a look at that, and I'm going to go grab one. Hang on. Double checking on my desk. Nope. Let me go over here and get it. Okay. E6000 procured, which is good. Strawberry eaten, which is also good. And let's glue this bead down. So if you're doing something like this in the center, might be a good idea to glue that down, but we're just going to glue it after the fact. It's no big deal. Okay. So I'll come in, I'll pierce that a little bit. Let me get, I need just a little piece of cardboard or something, or a baggie. Here's a baggie right here. I'm going to pull out just a little bit, extrude out a little bit of E6000 and get that lid back on. Okay. Now let's get a little bit on this stick. And I'm going to kind of fold this up. I'm going to get a little bit of the E6000 right there. I don't want it to go too far out. So I'm going to press that side down. I'm going to slide that one open. Get a little more on the stick. Put it on that side of the bead. Doesn't have to be a lot. It just needs to anchor it. Right? Make sure you're working in a well-ventilated area because this is a little stinky. Now, I'm going to just push this down. Try and get all of the beads so that nothing is sitting underneath. Something right there is funny. Yeah, I could feel it. I could feel that bead. There it is. All right. That's it. So here's my heart. Look at that. I think that looks just delish, doesn't it? So let's see. What do I want to do next here? I was thinking about putting those guys like that, maybe. But I need something down there to, I feel though, I feel like this might be a little bit big, right? But maybe this is better. I know I'm going to need a bigger, or maybe it's not. I don't know. Let me tie this off. Let me do this. Let me go here. I'm going to go through the back, go through 1, 2, 3 times, tighten it up, kind of bring my needle underneath. It's going behind that bead, and then I'll clip this away. Okay. Let me get a new thread. Okay. Come on, stay there. I've got to make sure that this E6000 adheres. It will. It just doesn't, what it really wants is for me to just let it sit there. But I'm not gonna, right? So let me thread this needle again. I'm using maybe about a yard of thread-ish, about. I think I want to embellish those 3 quadrants. Okay, and I have some super duos in this mix, which I think will look nice. So let me do that. Let me see if I can needle this thread. Come on. Yes, there it went. Got it. Okay. So now I'm just going to come in and I'll do that little loop again. Tie that knot. Cut away my extra. I'll go in from the front. I'm going to go from like this. I'm going to line up with this A-dot bead and go kind of out like that. And I think I'm going to go to about right there. And I'll stay stitch that. And let's see if we can settle on a motif that we like. Okay. Let me needle up. I'm going to put on this super duo. Oops. This long thread is catching. Hang on. I know, super duo flowers. That's kind of what I'm thinking here, right? That I think I just might stitch that way. So here's one. Okay, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to stitch down through the top hole. And let's see what this looks like. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball it there. Okay, so that's down. That's good. That's there. There's a little where I cut away. Get rid of that little piece of thread there. All right. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. I'm going to put these aside. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I've got that. Let me do this. I'm just going to see how this motif is going to play out. So maybe it'll look more like a bud, or I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like, but let me see. I'm going to take this A-dot. I'm going to put it through. That's a good question, Diane. Why do I start the stitch from the front instead of the back? I know from the front, I'm going to kind of cover it. And I want to see exactly where I'm putting my needle down. So I think that's why I do that. That's a really good question. I guess that's just kind of how I do it. So, but I think it's because of the placement. I wanna know where my placement's gonna be, okay? So I think that's why. So see here, I'm gonna use that little bugle. I'm gonna hold my finger on it. I'm gonna go down. There we go. I'm gonna use one of those stripes on the top. Those really cute little French stripe seed beads. Right? Yeah, the long megatomas I gotta put in here somewhere. I gotta find something. Let's see, how am I doing on time? I'm doing all right. Okay, so see, there's that little stripe. I like that motif. Now let me put another one of those on this side. So I'm working symmetrically. Then we'll see what it needs in the middle. Okay. I mean, this is the ultimate in free form, right? We're not planning anything. Let's get that little stripe beauty right there and stitch it down. Now, I feel like it does need something in the middle because I can repeat that motif there and I can repeat that motif there. Maybe it needs another super duo. I think it does. So let me do that. Super duo there. Stitch it on through the bottom hole, and then I'll move up and stitch it through the top hole. Like that. I like seeing kind of the side view of this, but you could also stitch them flat, doesn't matter. Go through the top hole. And stitch it down. Like that. Okay. So that's good. So that's kind of in a little line right there. Tighten that up. So let me just, I'm going to stitch through that top one more time. Then I think we need one more stripe at the very top. Come on. Needle up. There we go. And let me get this stripe. Put it there. Okay, that looks good. And I'll stitch it through one more time. Now this mix has a few drops in it too, the Miyuki drops. So where do I want to put one of those? Let's finish working on this little motif. And I think I will repeat this motif in this quadrant, at least in that quadrant there. Okay. Let me come up here. This looks a little bare. Maybe I want an 11-aught, a drop, an 11-aught. Put it there. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's okay. I'll go back up here. Then I feel like I want something right here. Whoops. That's not right. I needed to go down from the front. I don't know why I went through the back. Let me see. Now I have to rethread. That's all right. Needle that thread. I got to get in my line of sight there. Hang on. Can you hear the clock ticking? Come on, get in there. There we go. All right. There are some of these little cubes. So let me get a cube, 2 cubes, an 11. All right. I'm going to do this. 2 cubes, an 11, an 8, an 11, 2 cubes. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, yeah. Doesn't that look pretty? Very nice. We'll needle down and we will repeat that over here. Okay. What did I say? 2 cubes, an 11, an 8, an 11, 2 cubes. And push that back. And it's right still in the line, so that's good in my outline. There we go. And I'm just going to come back up. I feel like this wants one more. This one feels a little not as strong as I want it to feel, so I'm going to go back through it. And again, all this is needle up, needle down, right? There we go. I also might need to do one more round of gluing for this center motif because handling this is not allowing the E6000 to sit as tightly as I want it. But that's okay. I can come back in and re-glue. Okay, so that goes down. So now let's do this motif over here. So what was my center? I went off of this one, right? Right here. So I know that I need first, I need to move this A dot over a little bit. So I'm going to come up here. See how that's a little kind of off, right? So I'm going to come up. I'm going to go through these 2 A dots. I'm going to pull tight, kind of moving that A dot back and needle down. So it makes it look a little more symmetrical like the other side. See that there? Give me a little bit more room. Does that make sense? Now we're just going to stitch this in. So I'm going to bring my needle up. I'm going to need that to be about right there. That looks about right. So I'm kind of going to go off Maybe I should lay this one in and go across that way. So that might be the easiest, because then I can make this kind of symmetrical. And if I start from the top, right, that looks about even to my eye. That one was a cube, another cube, an 11, an 8, an 11, 2 cubes. Then we can get this to sit correctly, right? So if that's right there, that can go right there. That's where this is going to be my beginning line. And if it's not quite lined up with the beads below it, I'm not going to worry about it, because there's so much going on in this thing. There we go. Okay, so these look about right? And I'm not going to really worry about it too much about what it looks there. Now I'm going to put in this drop. It had an 11. It had a drop. Come on. It had a drop, and it had another 11. So that goes in. Okay. Whoops. I needed to needle up. I was so excited about putting those on. Hang on. At least I didn't go through the fabric yet. Let me go up. Needs to go right there. I'll just put those down. I think I want to go through this one more time. I did on the other one. Just to make sure that's sitting where I want it to sit. Okay, sorry if I'm out of, let me zoom out a little bit. I know I'm going a little bit over, but I want to show you how I'm going to finish this off. It doesn't have to be perfectly finished for me to tell you what my final steps are going to be. So now I bring my needle up right here, and that's when I do that little triad, that little trio of the 11, the drop, the 11, and down about right here. Okay. There we go. And now I'm going to get that center super duo, goes up from it. Is this sitting correctly? There we go. So needle up. And you could draw yourself some guidelines, but I kind of like making these things fit, right? So if that's there, that super duo is going to go there. And that angle looks okay to me, right? I think it does. So let me stitch it on. And this is something you couldn't have planned, right? You let the beads kind of inform you about the next stitch you're going to take, right? So I'm going to go through these twice just to get it down there. And then I'll stitch the top hole down. I could put some 11/0 on the side if I had wanted to, but I can always come in and add some more business to this, right? But I want to get these two top motifs done. That's coming up, needle up, kind of next to where that hole is. Go through the hole in the super duo. Needle down. Because once you have the motif laid out, it's easier for you to replicate it. Okay, so there's that one. Now I need that 8/0. Needle up. That looks about the right spot. It is pretty mindful. It's mindful and it's free form kind of all at the same time, right? Because you really have to be kind of in the moment when you're stitching it on. But then when you make your second go round, this one isn't, the super duo doesn't want to stay. So I'm going to stitch it in. So you kind of have to go with your decision, be mindful in the moment, and then kind of let it go, right? And go on to your next stitch. There we go. That's better. Now, this comes up. One more super duo. Come on, glue. This glue wants to rest. It wants me to stop stitching, but it can't rest yet. It will. And then this goes here. Goes right there. What did I do? I have a little stripe one at the top, right? So I'll put that striped one in. I'm going to stitch the super duo top. Sorry, I'm out of camera, out of range there. This is looking, I mean, it's pretty fanciful. It is true. And I think you just keep stitching until you're happy with it, right? There we go. All right. So I've got that. Now, let me get my stripe. The stripe is going to go on this very top right here. That stripe. Now I'm going to backtrack and I'm going to put the bugle in. I'm going to stitch these super duos. I think want to be stitched down twice. That's just kind of how they are. So I'm going to say okay dokay to that. There we go. Now that bugle comes from about right here. So let's see what happens. Yeah, that's good. Spacing isn't quite, that's all right. Yeah, right there. That's where it goes. It goes right there. Yeah. And that little red stripe on the top. And this. Then I'll put that bugle on the other side. Coming out of that same spot right about there. Kind of has a botanical feel to it, right? I kind of like that. There we go. Red stripe. And then that last little motif. And then what we did was we came in and I did I'm going to bring it from down here. Come on, needle. There we go. 2 cubes. 1 and 2. 111. 1 8. 111. 2 cubes. I'll slide those on. I'll look at the angle. That angle looks about right. Needle down. Come back up. Go back down that leg. Make sure I grab all of those beads and needle down. There we go. So now, see how this one has a little bit of movement there, so that I don't like. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to put a little couching stitch, which means I bring my needle up next to that line. The thread is going to go over it, and it's going to go like right in between that 11/0 and that 8/0. And see there, it's going to hold that in place. So that's good. That's good. Now it needs some more something down here. That bead, I don't know. It's okay. Just not quite what I want. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do something else with the super duos or something. I'm not really sure. But what I am sure of is I'm going to take this and knot this off. Okay. Bring it around. Did I get it through? And one more time here. It didn't really knot as well as I wanted it to. I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to bring it through 3 times through. There we go. That's what I want. And then I'll just kind of run this underneath, and I will cut it away. So, yeah, I mean, I do kind of like that at the bottom. I think what I need to see now. Okay, I'm going to cut this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut the heart outline. Okay. And I want to show you, I've been thinking about this, so I'm going to see what it looks like. I have some pinking shears here. I like using pinking shears. I want to see how this looks. See that pinked edge? Which I kind of like. Okay. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to cut just along the outer edge of this heart. I'm going to kind of line it up. I can always trim it. If I don't like the pinked edge, I don't have to have it. Okay, but there's that. Look at that. That's looking pretty good. Let me go in from this side Pink that straight line. Now I'm going to come here and try and pink along this. I hope I'm not cutting any threads on the back, but if I am, I'll just restitch it. Lining up my little pinked edges. There we go. All right, that doesn't look too bad. This gives me a better idea of what I might want to do. I love these bugles. I feel like this, I don't know, maybe off the bottom, maybe like that, right? Maybe that's better there. But I think I love this radiating motif that's here. Because I have to counterbalance like these, I don't know, this like fireworks kind of thing that's coming out from the top. I need to repeat it so it's not too heavy up top. So maybe I'll do a little bit of layout. Maybe that can go like there. Maybe this can go like there. Maybe I can have some more drops or something, but I think I want to fill that in a little bit, right? Yeah, I like these bigger ones. I feel like maybe these need to go in there too. I need a little bit of visual weight from those beads. I've got a couple of those, so maybe I'll put another one like down there. That kind of balances things out a little bit, right? I still have like these magatamas. Maybe I'll put one. Maybe I'll put them like that. That doesn't look too bad. Around those pink ones, kind of, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to let it simmer for a little bit. Then what I'm going to do after this, and then I'll probably fill in a little bit more and stuff, right? Yeah, I'm definitely going to take a screenshot so I know. Let me see if I can do it with this camera. Did I do it? No. Sorry. That wasn't right. Sorry. Hang on. There we go. It's back. Let me see. Let me see if I can screenshot this. There we go. Okay. I got it. There we go. So something like that. But I want to show you, I've got a photo of this so I can take this off. Now, what I'm going to do for the back, because on the back, you're going to see all of this. So what I'm going to do is eventually I'll come in, I'll cut out another heart that's this size. Okay. And I'm going to glue, I'm going to put E6000 in between the two so that all of my threads will be covered. Okay. After I do that, let me see, where's my little heart? I had the heart template here. Here it is. Do I have enough room? I'm just going to cut this. I don't think I'll even pink it, maybe, because I think the pinked edge is a little bit bigger. So I'll just come in. I'm going to make this back for this. I could pin it or whatever, but I'm just winging it off the cuff like this. I'll cut that little pinked edge off and I'll go all the way down. And then that's a little not so nice. Okay, so here's the backing. And so what I will do Yeah, see, it covers, it goes just up to the edge of that pinked end. And then I will glue the pin back on the back so it looks really clear. Okay, looks really clean. Okay. I also had these little, I don't know if they actually really belong here or not. But remember when I made that flower, the beaded flower thing for the holidays? Do I feel like these need these little leaves there? I don't know. Maybe. It's not a bad idea. It's not, I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying into it, but I don't know. It's interesting. So you can see if I would do something like this or a little beaded flower, a little something, I would make it and then I would adhere it between these two pieces. Okay. So I don't know. You could do anything. If you had like little flowers or a little something, but I think this is coming along. I'm going to let this simmer. Maybe a drop at the bottom. Maybe that one. Yeah, I don't think the leaves add either, but I kind of I like the idea, but it's not quite right. I agree. Maybe I could make some little beaded things maybe that come out like that. I don't know. Maybe. But first I need to finish embellishing this. So, I'll get there. So, to go over what you need, I'll show you. It was kind of a fun, I think it was kind of a fun sesh today. I hope we had fun stitching together. And I think this got you far enough so that you can kind of take this and play around with it. This is what I used. I used that black, that stiffened felt that's in our Amazon store, right? I used the Dancing Queen table cut strand that we have. I just drew my little heart. This is on cardstock, or it's on manila folder. It's about 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches, right? I used our nice circle pin back that we're going to use on the back. I did my embellishing. This is with a size 10 beading needle here, and I used Fireline, right? I used Fireline. I'm glad I used the white so you could see what it looks like on the back, but you can definitely match your embellishing thread. What I did was I used our little free gift today that we did. Let me see if there's any left. We'll see if there are. Tomorrow, oh, they have sold out. They've all been given away. I'm sorry about that. But tomorrow, on Sunday, the 15th, we're doing this live. It's February 14th, Valentine's Day today, 2026. Tomorrow, check your newsletters because I will have another little Valentine present for you. Miranda named it Dark Romance. So it'll go. Maybe I'll have to open up Dark Romance and use it on this one too. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's it. Or make your own mix. See what's on your bead table, gather it together, right? Put it on your bead board and start stitching. I mean, this had no template. I just made my own little template, etc. Afterwards, we're going to finish it by gluing this back on to hide any of the threads. And then we'll do this circle on the back and it'll be a pin, right? Or brooch or something. It'll be, right? Put it on a clip, put it in your hair, whatever. So, my friends, thank you. I appreciate you spending your Valentine's morning and afternoon with me. I also appreciate it. I'm going to go work on my French coat um, sample. Got to get that done. But I hope everyone, however you celebrate this day, if it's just a regular Saturday for you, or if you're making someone's day extra sweet, or if someone's making your day extra sweet, I hope that this was a fun stitch in session. I will see you back on Wednesday. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Thank you so much for joining me today and spending this time. We really appreciate you here. So I guess that's it. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.